It's now time for the post-match report presented by the American University Athletics Eagles Club. Jeremy Huber here with head wrestling coach Jason Borrelli. A happy Coach Borrelli after a pair of wins today. Congratulations first, Coach.
Thank you.
And it's interesting today, Jason and I were talking that obviously maybe Queens and Lindenwood not up to the heights of some of the teams you've seen lately, but one, wins are wins, and two, we both thought your guys kind of came out and didn't dawdle, kind of got after it like you've been wanting them to all year long, really.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you pointing that out. And I actually just had that same message to one of the reporters that asked me kind of the keys to victory. And I thought, it's interesting when you dictate the action and when you go out wanting to set the tone, how different a dual meet in a match can be. And oftentimes, if you're wrestling a big-name program or a highly ranked guy, sometimes you try to feel things out. You go out there a little bit and you're timid and and then all of a sudden you're on the defensive instead of being on the offensive. And so that's a big thing, and it's a good message that I'll talk to the guys about, is just like the mindset of if you go out and the whistle blows and you're trying to create action and be the offensive wrestler, good things happen, and you saw that all day today. So.
Jason, some forfeits throughout the day, but a lot of guys went 2-0. A lot of your seniors able to do that on senior day. How good of a feeling was that for some of those guys to taste victory, a double dip of it today?
Yeah, it was great. Our older guys, our seniors, our leaders, they do a lot of that behind the scenes. A lot of their leadership is in the locker room, being the voice of reason. People, they have great perspective. They've been in the program 4 or 5 years, but to allow them to get on the mat and have some success is awesome. It's very rewarding and exciting and encouraging for their teammates. So I know they'll feel good about it. They'll always have that memory of their last match in Bender. But so it was great. It was great for them, and it was good for just the whole team in general.
Looking at some of these big ones, Liam Volk-Klaus, got to talk about him. He gets the big comeback win last week, kind of took it over, and even said, that confidence of a win like that, I think I felt that in my 2 matches today.
Yeah, it's amazing how things can switch really quickly when you have a big win like he did at Air Force. Came from behind, was down like 9-1, 9-0, 9-0, and came back and won, I think 13-12, and then follows it up with 2 big wins today. And he's 3 matches in a row, and that matters. Some people might think, look at the competition. It doesn't matter. For me, winning is winning, to your point at the beginning, and it builds confidence. And you can't put yourself in position to win the big matches until you win these types of matches, and he's winning these matches now consistently. So then the natural next step is that he's going to do that against somebody, a real high-quality opponent.
One last question for you, Jason, and we're going to talk about the guy in front of him in the weight class. Connor Bourne came out in the first one, lost a match, favored a little bit, gets dinged up. We don't want to ask any injury questions, but how proud were you of Connor, an upper-class guy, a tough guy to gut through to get the victory?
Well, very. He wasn't in a great spot after the first match. He was really down on himself. I felt like, we felt and he felt that he let one slip away, and he was real hard on himself in between the duels. And so I asked him, are you in a good state of mind to wrestle? Do you want to wrestle again? And he said, of course. And so, put him out there and was really happy that he kind of dominated, got a major decision. Definitely tweaked his arm, and that's the one that he's been out because of. And so that worries me, and we'll see. We'll talk to our medical staff. But, Connor is in, last year, he's a tough kid, and I have no doubt that he'll push through it because that's just who he is.
Well, again, Connor Bourne getting the win. American getting the win, more importantly. Your guys getting a pair of victories over Queens and Lindenwood, of course, coming up. You've got the matches next week against Columbia and Army, and the IWAs. Jason, again, congratulations. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
That's Jason Borrelli. I'm Jeremy Huber. That'll do it for our Eagles Club post-match report. Do your part to support the successes of AU wrestling student athletes in the classroom and on the mat by joining the Eagles Club.